I always, anytime they ask me to do something with Kappa League, I definitely don't mind doing it because I was a member of Kappa League myself before I became a brother of Kappa. I was a Kappa Leaguer back in, you know, the year is not important, so we don't worry. It was a long time ago, so don't worry about that. But you know what I asked for, I said if I'm gonna do this, I need the best and the brightest Kappa Leaguers we have from all around the country to be a part of this presentation. So I'm assuming that's what we have here, the leaders of the leaders with Kappa League. So as I share this presentation, I'm gonna ask you guys to participate, and I'm gonna need all my real leaders or aspiring leaders to definitely assist in when I call on you. So with that being said, what we'll do is I'll share my screen here and we'll talk a little bit about creating your personal brand. So what does that mean to you when I say creating your personal brand? Well, what is your brand? I see any of my Kappa Leaguers want to chime in on what they think that what I mean when I say what is your personal brand?
It means, you hear me?
Yeah, I see. I hear you. You got to speak up a little bit, but I hear you.
It means to who you are as a person and how people see you.
That's very good. That's very good. Anybody got anything they want to add to that?
Yes, if I may add on to that.
Yeah, for sure.
It means like what he said, how people see you, and like how it's like selling yourself to others. Kind of like how you want to sell yourself and how you know want to sell yourself to a maybe a businessman or possibly even a teacher. Sure, somewhere along those lines. You understand? Thank you.
For sure. It's really how the outside world not only sees you, but sees what you may stand for and what you're about. If you think about, if we'll go to this next side, okay, with Amazon, what do you think of when you see the Amazon logo? That's Amazon's brand. That logo represents them. So what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Amazon?
What I see is delivery.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. Somebody said Jeff Bezos. Somebody said fast delivery. Somebody quick, right? That's pretty much you order something from Amazon today, it could get to your house tomorrow. Depending on where you live, it may even come the same day. So, what about McDonald's? What do you think about when you see that brand?
McDonald's, I see it as a fast food industry.
Yeah. Okay. So hold on to that thought with McDonald's. What about the next one? What about Chick-fil-A? What do you think about when you see Chick-fil-A? What pops in your mind?
Their chicken. That's some good chicken.
Yeah.
Their chicken sandwich.
But what about the people that work at Chick-fil-A?
They have very nice working staff.
They're nice.
Very nice working staff.
Yeah.
They have a respectful attitude.
Yeah, they call it customer service, right? Customer service on Chick-fil-A is on 10, right? So would you say Chick-fil-A and McDonald's customer service are known for the same thing?
No.
Not so much.
No, sir.
No, they don't.
No. So they both do the same thing, right? They both are fast food entities, but the way that they deliver that product is different in the presentation, right? That's like, sometimes if you have a nice juicy steak or a nice Chick-fil-A sandwich, McDonald's, whatever, it might taste good, but if I turn over my garbage can lid and I put that Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on there, that McDonald's burger, that steak, whatever it is you like to eat, if I put that on a garbage can lid and give it to you, is it going to be appetizing or you going to want to eat it?
No, I wouldn't even touch it.
Okay, because it's all about the presentation, right? It's all about the image that they portray. The food is the same, but the presentation is what's important. And that's kind of what you also want to think about when you talk about your personal brand. And the things that you do throughout your life and how you brand yourself can be the difference between you being presenting yourself on a garbage can lid with the same knowledge, the same whatever, the same you. But if you present yourself in a bad way, it's going to rub off badly on other people. It's not going to be appetizing. So let's talk about O.J. Simpson, right? So you think about O.J. Simpson. These images on the screen, you see O.J. Simpson. These are before 1994. Heisman Trophy winner, did commercials, broadcasting. You know, when I was a kid, O.J. Simpson was on TV. You know, a stand-up guy, great smile, whatever. That was his personal brand. Now he went through some things in his personal life, and you kids, you probably know this O.J. Simpson right here, right? Getting arrested, you know, other things that happened in his personal life. So it's interesting how you can take your time to build your personal brand brick by brick. But it only takes one instance, one thing to happen for that personal brand to be totally different from what somebody would think of. Would you say that that's true? Would y'all agree with that statement?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just say you're a straight A student. You're a straight A student, right? Everybody know you've been a straight A student. Throughout your whole years, you get to your senior year, you get caught cheating on a test. Well, that person's perception of you is going to change because now you're not known as a straight A student. You're going to be known as a cheater, right? So you got to make sure that your personal brand is all the time at the forefront, at the front of your mind when you're taking on new projects and taking on new responsibilities. And as a leader, the more you find yourself in leadership positions, which I know you guys are seeking leadership positions, whether that's in Kappa League, whether that's at school, at your church, or wherever, you got to keep that personal brand in mind. What do you stand for? What do people see when they look at you? So if you had to use 3 photos from your life to describe your personal brand, what would it be? I'm not going to ask y'all to upload 3 photos right now, but just think about all the pictures you have, all the pictures in your house, all the pictures on your IG, all the pictures you can post it on Snap, all of that. And think if somebody would describe you in 3 photos, what would those be? So I just took 3 photos from my own life. You know, the first one, I used to work in construction with Habitat for Humanity, work for a nonprofit, but hard work is what I think when I want people to think about me. The second one is my family. I'm a family person. And the third one is our Kappa League, because mentoring is something that's really important to me. So, you know, those were 3 photos, and you could do 10, 20 photos. It was hard to choose these 3, but think about what the image you put out there when people see what you post, what you say, what you think about, and what people think about you when they see the photos and the things that you post, right? I mean, so these are some tips. If you're not really on that personal brand or whatever, you guys are still young. You guys have time to change the narrative, as they say. If somebody thinks one thing, you can get them to think something else. And these are some tips to create your own personal brand. Find out who you are. In what areas do you excel? Find out what motivates you. What characteristics have others complimented you on? If somebody knows you as being a smart guy, somebody knows you being very social, well, then that's your personal brand to them. Decide, is that what you want to be known for? On the flip side, if somebody knows you as a person who's not going to put 100% in, is that what you want them to continue to think? You know, those are some of the things that you want to think about when you're trying to figure out what do you want, what the outside world looks at you. If you were in front of the mirror, what do you want people to see? Determine what you like, determine what you would like to be known for. Your personal brand is more than a reflection of who you are today. It's a roadmap to where you want to go. You know, if you want to be, you know, a senator, if you want to be a doctor, lawyer, if you want to go start your own business, whatever that is, determine where you'd like to go, and that's going to help you develop your map. That's you developing your point B. That point A to point B is going to help you get there. In addition to understanding your existing skills and competencies, examine your strengths and your weaknesses as they relate to whichever industry you want to break into next. Research who you admire, then learn from them. If you want to be a musician, who do you take advice from? You want to be a professional athlete, engineer, entrepreneur, Kappa League president, Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity member. Do you follow those people on social media? Do you see what they post? Have you sought out advice from them on how to get where you want to go? That's another way of developing your personal brand, because that person is going to identify you as a person who's trying to achieve more than the next person. You know, if you want to be, you know, I talked about Amazon. If you want to start your own business, do you follow Jeff Bezos on Instagram or Facebook and see kind of what he posts? Do you read books? If you want to be a musician, have you read books by famous musicians and see what they did to get there and see if that might work? Figure out what you can learn from those people, and that'll help you develop that brand as being a person who wants to be known for that thing that you want to do. Embrace networking. Networking can be the difference in options and opportunities. Part of networking is maintaining a business relationship in a less than ideal situation. So in maintaining your personal brand, networking is probably the biggest thing you can do. You know, just say you wanna make some Kool-Aid, right? I don't know if y'all drink Kool-Aid, that's probably maybe before y'all time, but if I have sugar and I network with somebody that has water, and I network with somebody else that has the jug or what I'm gonna put it in, then we all network and we can all come together and do something what we're trying to do, right? So that's what you want to keep in mind when you think about networking. Not only how somebody can help you, but how you can help them. You know, I think a lot of the brothers on this call could definitely be doing other things with their life right now, but we're networking with you because we want to provide a service to you. But we also get something out of it too. The ability to see you guys grow and develop as young men is a reason why I think I can speak for a lot of brothers when I say that's the reason why we do this. We want to help you, and we also get something out of it. So you want to see what networking is can benefit you and what you can bring to the table. That's part of personal branding. People you feel at first glance may not be able to assist you in branding yourself. You still want to network with those people. I learned a long time ago, somebody said, remember all the names on the way up. You know, it don't matter if it's somebody you might feel that's insignificant to where you're trying to go, still take that time to get to know those people. You know, I think about, they said, you know, Lamar Jackson, you know, one of my favorite players, they said when he first got to the Ravens, he made sure he memorized everybody's name, from the people that do the tiles to the equipment guys to the security. People might not be significant to what he wants to do, but still significant in knowing that his personal brand, he wants to be a person that cares about other people, because it takes everybody. Now, flirting and networking do not mix. You won't want your personal brand to be known as a person who's always trying to go too far. My motto on that is, when in doubt, leave it out. When in doubt, leave it out. Remember that. Monitor your social media presence. What do strangers see when they search you online? Balance between being social and being too open on social media. You know, now is definitely a time where, how many athletes do you know, every year the draft comes up, it never fails. There's somebody that tweeted something way back in 2010, and when they get ready to get drafted, somebody pulls up that old tweet, or somebody get ready to, you know, find a picture on social media that they thought they deleted. So you make sure that your social media presence is probably the biggest thing you can do to affect your personal brand now, because we live in a digital world. So you make sure that, you know, take a minute to look at that social media profile and say, okay, what if somebody's seen this? How would I feel if this would it taken out of context or whatever? And like I said, when in doubt, leave it out. You can also always give your personal views, but make sure that those views are the views that you're willing to stand behind if that comes back later on in life. So remember that your brand is just not online. So, you know, for right now, I would just give maybe 2 or 3 minutes. If brothers want to chime in on anything I said, or if not, that's pretty much the end of my presentation. So, you know, definitely keep that in mind. And right now, I'll open up the floor to, you know, maybe 1 or 2 brothers if they want to add something. If not, then thank y'all for your time.
Brother Thompson, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've all heard that you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. So that first impression is your brand. You may not get a do-over, a mulligan on that second chance for your first impression. So as Brother Julius Thompson said, it's real important to what you project is who you really are to yourself, to your family, to your community, those folks that care about you. Your name is important to your family as well. So we don't want to disrespect our family names also.
Any Kappa Leaguers have any questions or comments? I do actually. Andre Gullo from Kappa League Los Angeles. I actually need you to elaborate on the flirting and networking cannot mix. And I say that because I've been in like settings where, you know, I've had to network with people and and me, I'm just being me. And, you know, everybody around me is like, oh, you a flirt. And I'm just like, well, you know what I'm saying? I'm just doing what I do. So how do I know when, you know, I'm doing too much or I'm not doing enough when I'm just being me?
Well, in a scenario like that, and I think that I was venture to say a few brothers probably on this call more often than not have you know, had that same issue. I mean, we Kappa, we look good. So, I mean, it's just kind of come with the territory. So, you know, in that instance, what you want to do is, as long as you are not taking it to a level that makes somebody else uncomfortable. What they always say, it's not intent, it's impact. If your intent is, you know, strictly, you know, above board, you just doing you, but the impact that it's having on that person is making them feel uncomfortable, then you know, you want to make sure that you pull back and maintain a business or professional relationship as much as possible, because nobody's gonna look bad on you for keeping a business relationship. If anything, you would rather be on the side than on the side of doing too much. And I think as you grow and you mature, you'll kind of learn in those situations, you know, when somebody might take something out of context. But like I said, my biggest thing is when in doubt, you know, leave it out and err on the side of caution with that.
Let me throw something in here. Andre, overall in your life, you're going to meet, you know, 1,000 women, and you're a good looking brother. They're going to be interested in you. So you have to become the chooser. I mean, you have to allow yourself to be the choosee in those situations. Let her show you that she's willing to come forward after the business is done. Because the situation that you're in right now, you're in a business setup and you're flirting. She takes it the wrong way. She goes back to her people and says, Andre sexually harassed me while we were in this situation. Now, not only is all your business with her and her people done, but now she can go around and tell everybody that you sexually harassed her, and that becomes your brand. So the safest situation for you to do is to keep it business. And if you feel that attraction, let her step to you, but you don't be the one to take it from business to personal. And I would say even furthermore, let that be in the second interaction, because the first interaction, you don't want your first interaction in a business situation to be that you was coming in there and hitting on all the fine women. And part of what that is too, is that because you're a young, articulate, good-looking brother, when you walk into a room, every woman that's interested in a young, articulate, good-looking brother is already looking at you, right? And that's what we know as Kappa men, is that when we walk in a room, the women are already looking at us. So we have to weed out all of those problems. We don't introduce that into our lives, and we don't invite it to come in when there's business to be done.
Amen.
So you put business first and allow the other person to step forward and make that first move on any kind of flirtatious or personal level. Otherwise, you put yourself in a situation where your brand can be damaged for years just because she took it the wrong way. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
In addition to this, this is Brother Harvin from Columbia, Maryland Alumni Chapter. In addition to what Brother Thompson and Brother Jones said, Andre and the other Kappa Leaguers, there's a thing that I teach my students about code switching. Code switching is something that can make or break your career. Code switching is simply adjusting who you are to the situation that you're in. So even if the young lady makes a pass at you first, again, as Brother Jones said, take care of business first. And then on the second or third interaction, if the attraction is still there, then you still have taken care of business before your personal desires. So you in code switching, you have to separate your professional from your personal. And it really, and then as a pastor, I always tell young men, I don't care how fine she is, I don't care how built she is. Think with the head on your shoulder versus the head under your belt, because the one under your belt will get you in more trouble than the head on your shoulder.
Preach.
Thank you, thank you, brothers.
Well
So,
said.
Brother King, we're going to.
Brother Burnett, can I say something real quick?
Yes.
All right. So, Andre, can I ask you this question? Is it the person who feels that you're flirting, or the people around you on your team that think you're flirting?
The people on my team who say it.
So
I don't know how the person feels. I just know the people on my team.
Right. So one of the things, and you can take this back from all the what everybody was saying, was if you're a friendly person, you have to tone that down, and think about that, right? You know, it's good to be friendly, but you have to be aware of how friendly you're being. So if somebody else is noticing it, that's a friend of yours, they think that you're flirting. You're not, because in your mind, you know that your intent is not in a flirtatious way, but it's coming off to somebody else in that manner. So when they're giving you that advice, you should probably also think about, how do I tone it back and not lose who I am? You're a friendly person. Just think about how often you flash that smile, how often you look at that person, and things of that nature, which sort of go hand in hand with networking, but you just have to think about how you bring it back.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right, got you.
Yeah.